The storm begins. The golf world was already in chaos. Rory McIlroy, one of the greatest golfers alive, had just been hit with a shocking accusation. A woman on social media claimed that he had cheated on his wife with his male caddy and that his friendship with CBS reporter Amanda Balionis was just a cover story to hide the truth. The accusation had no proof, no evidence, no witnesses, nothing. But that didn't matter. In today's world, a single post is enough to start a wildfire, and this one spread fast. Within hours, the story was everywhere. Golf fans, sports media, tabloids, gossip websites, everyone was talking about it. The rumor grew bigger with every share, every retweet, every screenshot. And Rory McIlroy, a man who had spent years building a reputation for integrity and family values, suddenly found himself defending not just his golf game, but his entire personal life. Then, from an unexpected place, a voice came through the noise. Number Anthony Kim steps forward. At 11:47 p.m., a post appeared on X. It was short, it was direct, it was pure Anthony Kim. If you gay, and that's okay. But at Rory McIlroy, not gay, bro. Also, he's a girl dad and will kill it in the Ryder Cup and has had an amazing career. Hope you're okay after all that BS. We got you. The golf world stopped. Anthony Kim, a man who had disappeared from professional golf for 12 years, who had battled addiction and depression, who had only recently begun his comeback, had just used his platform not to create drama, but to end it. Not to attack anyone, but to defend someone. Not to add more noise, but to cut straight through it. With one post, Kim reminded the entire golf world of something it had forgotten. Decency. Number, breaking down the post. Every line of Kim's post meant something. If you gay, and that's okay. This opening line was powerful. Kim wasn't being dismissive of gay people. He was doing the opposite. He was saying clearly being gay is not a bad thing. It's not an insult. It's not something to be ashamed of. He refused to treat the accusation as if being gay was the problem. That took confidence. That took character. It was the statement of a man who has spent his life being judged, has faced public criticism, has battled his own demons, and has finally stopped caring what people think. He wasn't trying to sound clever. He was just saying what he believed. But at Rory McIlroy, not gay, bro. And then the dismissal. Simple, casual, almost bored. The accusation was so clearly ridiculous that it didn't even deserve a long explanation. Kim treated it accordingly. No court documents needed. No press conference required. Just a straightforward no, that's not true. End of story. Also, he's a girl dad and will kill it in the Ryder Cup and has had an amazing career. This was the heart of the post. Kim didn't just defend McIlroy, he celebrated him. In 3 short phrases, he reminded the entire golf world of who Rory McIlroy actually is. A girl dad, a devoted father raising a daughter, a Ryder Cup warrior, one of the fiercest competitors in team golf. A player with an amazing career, one of the most talented and successful golfers of his generation. While the internet was drowning in rumors and speculation, Kim stepped back and said, "Look at this man's life. Look at what he has built. That is who he really is. Hope you're okay after all that BS. We got you." And then the most important part. Kim wasn't just defending McIlroy's reputation. He was checking on him as a human being. Not times I got you, times but times. We got you. We, as in the golf world. We, as in the brotherhood of players who understand what it feels like to live under a microscope. We, as in everyone who has ever been judged unfairly and knows how much it hurts. The heart emoji and the golf emoji at the end said everything words couldn't. Simple, warm, real. Number. Where did this come from? The most remarkable thing about Kim's defense is that he and McIlroy were never close friends. They never partnered together in Ryder Cups. They never practiced together regularly. They never had long conversations over dinner or spent time together away from the golf course. Their careers overlapped for only a few years, and even then, they were more competitors than friends. Kim disappeared from professional golf in 2012, the same year. McIlroy won his first Masters. While McIlroy was going on to win 4 major championships and become the face of the PGA Tour, Kim was fighting battles that had nothing to do with golf. Addiction, depression. Dark years that most people never have to face. So why would Kim stand up for McIlroy? The answer lies in something that happened years earlier and in the kind of man each of them is. Number. The 2009 Masters connection. In 2009, a young Anthony Kim played one of the most electrifying rounds in Masters history. He made 11 birdies in a single round, still the record for the most birdies in one round at Augusta National. Rory McIlroy, still a teenager at the time, was playing in that same tournament. He witnessed Kim's brilliance firsthand. Years later, when Kim had been gone from the sport for years and people had largely forgotten about him, McIlroy spoke publicly about how much he missed him. "I miss Anthony Kim," McIlroy said. "The tour was a better place with him in it. He was exciting. I remember quite a lot about that round at the 2009 Masters. You're trying to focus on what you're doing, but you can't help but notice this guy is going on a bit of a run. That was something that was pretty cool." McIlroy didn't have to say that. Kim was gone. He wasn't relevant anymore. There was nothing to gain from defending someone the world had moved on from. But McIlroy said it anyway, because it was true, and because he is the kind of person who speaks up for others even when it costs him nothing to stay quiet. Now, years later, the roles had reversed. McIlroy was at the peak of his career. Kim was fighting for relevance, and when McIlroy needed someone to stand up for him, Kim remembered. Number, what Kim said later. In the days after his post went viral, Kim opened up about why he did it. "I've watched Rory's career from the outside for a long time," Kim said. "I've seen him win. I've seen him lose. I've seen him fight through things that would have broken other players. And I've seen how people treat him when things aren't going well." He paused before continuing. "When you've been through what I've been through, you recognize it in others. The scrutiny, the pressure, the way people build you up just so they can tear you down. Rory's dealt with that for his entire career, and he's still standing. That deserves respect." Kim knew exactly what McIlroy was going through, not because he read about it, but because he had lived it. He had been the guy everyone talked about. He had been the rising star that people wanted to watch fall. He had been the subject of rumors and speculation and public judgment, and he had survived it. That experience gave him something rare, the ability to recognize pain in someone else, and the courage to do something about it. McIlroy's response. Weeks after the incident, in a quiet moment before a tournament, McIlroy spoke about what Kim's post had meant to him. "I don't know Anthony well," he said. "We never played much together. We never really talked. But when that happened, he didn't hesitate. That says something about who he is. That's the kind of person I want to be." Those words carry weight. McIlroy has every resource available to him. He has a management team, a PR team, legal advisors, sponsors, and the full machinery of the PGA Tour behind him. When the accusations hit, he had plenty of professional support. But what Kim gave him was different. It wasn't professional. It wasn't strategic. It was human. It was one man saying to another, "I see you, I believe in you, and I've got your back." That's worth more than any press statement. What the accusations were really about. To understand why Kim's response mattered so much, it helps to understand the context of what McIlroy had been going through. In May 2024, McIlroy had briefly filed for divorce from his wife, Erica Stoll, only to withdraw the petition weeks later. The couple reconciled, but the story had already planted seeds of doubt in the public's mind. Rumors began circulating. Tabloids started digging, and eventually, those rumors found their way into the explosive accusation that sparked this whole story. The person who made the accusation was Marianne Riley O'Neill, described as a sports broker who had previously broken stories about PGA Tour executives. Her post was vague, dramatic, and had no supporting evidence. But timing is everything, and the timing right before the Masters was devastating. McIlroy's team declined to comment. His caddy, Harry Diamond, said nothing. The silence only added fuel to the fire. And that's when Kim stepped in. The accusation was later deleted. The account that posted it disappeared. McIlroy's legal team handled the situation professionally, and the story eventually faded from headlines, replaced by the next controversy and the next manufactured outrage. But Kim's words didn't fade. Anthony Kim's bigger journey. To fully appreciate what Kim did, you have to understand what he went through to get here. Anthony Kim was supposed to be the next big thing in American golf. In 2008, he won 3 PGA Tour events in a single season. In 2009, he was one of the most exciting players in the world. He had swagger. He had talent. He had the kind of personality that made casual fans tune in just to watch him. And then he disappeared. A series of injuries, beginning with a torn ligament in his thumb, began the downward spiral. What followed were years of surgeries, physical pain, addiction, and depression. For 12 years, the golf world heard almost nothing from him. He became a cautionary tale, a reminder of how quickly things can fall apart. But Kim didn't stay down. In 2024, he made his professional comeback, returning to competitive golf after more than a decade away. It wasn't a triumphant return full of wins and trophies. It was a quiet, difficult, humble journey back to the sport he loved. And through that journey, he changed. The swagger was still there, but it was backed by something deeper, now wisdom, empathy, and a genuine understanding of what matters in life. When you've been through what I've been through, you learn what matters, Kim said. It's not the money, it's not the fame, it's not the trophies. It's the people. It's being there when someone needs you. That's all that matters. Number, what this moment means for golf. Anthony Kim's defense of Rory McIlroy was not a big moment in sports history. It was not a dramatic comeback win or a record-breaking performance. It was a tweet, posted late at night, that most people read on their phones in bed. But it meant something. In a sport that has become increasingly corporate, increasingly political, and increasingly focused on money and power struggles, Kim's post was a reminder that golf is still, at its core, about people. The PGA Tour has spent the last few years consumed by drama, the LIV golf split, negotiations with Saudi Arabia, internal power struggles, and the kind of politics that turns athletes into pawns. In that environment, McIlroy had positioned himself as one of the defenders of the traditional game, speaking up when others stayed quiet, taking arrows when others ducked. He absorbed a lot of criticism for that. And when the personal attacks came, there was a moment where it looked like he might be standing alone. Kim made sure he wasn't. The final message. I'm not trying to be a hero, Kim said. I'm just trying to be a human being. If that's controversial, maybe that says more about the world than it does about me. He's right. It shouldn't be controversial to defend someone against baseless accusations. It shouldn't be remarkable to check on a fellow competitor during a difficult moment. It shouldn't take courage to simply tell the truth. But in the world we live in, it sometimes does. And that's exactly why Kim's moment mattered. I don't know what happens next, he said. I hope people remember that we're all human, that we all make mistakes, that we all deserve a chance to be seen for who we really are. That's what I was trying to say. I hope someone heard it. Someone heard it. Everyone heard it. The bigger picture. The accusations against Rory McIlroy have faded. The headlines have moved on. Augusta will bloom again. A champion will be crowned, and the world will find something new to argue about. But the example set by Anthony Kim will linger. A man who had every reason to stay silent. A man who had nothing to gain and, in theory, everything to lose. A man still fighting his own battles, still trying to rebuild his own reputation, who saw someone else under attack and didn't think twice. He didn't write a long essay. He didn't hold a press conference. He didn't call his PR team. He just picked up his phone, said what he felt, and posted it. That's not complicated. That's not heroic. That's just being human. And sometimes, being human is the most powerful thing you can be. For more coverage of the biggest stories in golf, subscribe and hit the notification bell.